live from New York City. Just kidding. Saturday Night Live, man, one of the greatest, used to be one of the greatest shows ever on television. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, I am coming to you live. It's unscripted, unrehearsed, just straight from the heart. And I'm coming to you from one of the most spectacular, beautiful condominium complexes, I believe, on the entire west side of Maui, known as Kahana Sunset. If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. It is an enclave of ocean meets perfection meets Maui County. And that's where it becomes very unperfect, as all things are with the government. So in this video, I'm gonna ask for some audience feedback, because I think this is one of those things that we gotta hear from the people, because this is probably the most interesting condo for sale on all of Maui. It's one of the most interesting private landowner rights versus big government, local government controversies that's unfolding as we speak. And I'm also going to talk about what it's like on Maui in April, because that's what's going on right now, the beautiful month of April. So here's, in a nutshell, what's happening. Behind me, you can see Building F, as in Frank. You see that? That's Building F, as in Frank. Now there's a seawall, right there. There's a seawall. It's a beach, but it's also got a seawall. Now the property's been around forever, right? 30 plus years. They built the condo with a permit. They built the seawall with a permit. So everything's legal, 100%. People spent millions and millions of dollars to purchase these condos over the years, improve them, their life savings, their dreams come true, their Maui piece of paradise. We're talking truly vested individuals. And the people in the F building have been disenfranchised of using their condo for the last 3 years. Why? Because the county will not issue a permit for them to repair the seawall. And you can see the seawall right there you can kind of see it, it's got the lanai of the building sitting on top of it. And so every seawall, basically, my screen froze, because that's the ocean, right? The ocean is constantly battering the seawalls. They undermine, and they don't last forever. Everyone knows that, right? I mean, the seawall needs to be repaired, it needs to be replaced, because it's up against Mother Nature and the ocean. There's nothing more raw and powerful and eroding than the ocean, right? So there's no question any seawall that's been built is going to need to be repaired and replaced and fixed. But what's happened in this situation is their seawall started to cause the lanai to become sloped because it was starting to fail, and the AOAO, the Apartment Owners Association, the HOA, out of an abundance of caution, they shut the building down because they thought it's not safe. So we want to fix the seawall, then we'll open the building up again. But Maui County chooses to not issue them the permit. And so now that you cannot occupy it, if you were an owner there, you have to continue to pay your taxes, you have to continue to pay your monthly HOA fees, about $1,800 a month. And meanwhile, the county does not allow them to fix the seawall. Just won't give them the permit. Sorry. There's a couple theories on this. One theory is that the public land is the high water mark or the vegetation line in Hawaii, right? So that's where the state land basically ends, is at the high water mark or the vegetation line. So if you think about it, if they don't allow these homeowners to repair their seawall, eventually, right, the ocean is going to take over and the building will be gone, which is what they actually want them to do. They want them to demolish the building and move it somewhere else on this property, which of course there's no room to move it anywhere else on this property. But essentially what would happen is the state would get this beach back. So is it a land grab? I don't know. You tell me. But I've talked to the guy that built all the seawalls on most of West Maui, and he told me about 15 years ago they stopped allowing them to go super deep. They stopped allowing them to use concrete. They stopped allowing them to really build significant seaworthy structures. They were almost kind of temporary. And so the question is this a deliberate move on the part of the government to try to reclaim these buildings and these seawalls that have been built right on the edge of the ocean. In the comments, let me know your theory. But right now, I do have Unit F7 under contract here at Building Kahana, at Condo Sunset. We are going to go in there and take a look around because a lot of people are curious what it actually looks like inside the building. We do have a backup offer on it. They're selling it at about $1 million discount. Normally this would go for, 1.3 to 1.6. The asking price is $450,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath directly on the water. So the most interesting condo for sale in West Maui, because believe it or not, if you bought it, you would not be able to utilize it, rent it out, stay one night in it, and then you'd have to continue to pay your taxes and your HOA fees for how long? Indefinitely, we don't know, because the county is taking their sweet time. Well, they're not really taking their sweet time. They have not issued the permit, and it's an unresolved issue. And quite frankly, I'm a little shocked. So if you own property in Hawaii on the ocean and you've got a seawall, I think this is something that you should pay attention to very closely. If you're a hotel, if you're a big hotel, say for example the Pink Hotel, kind of beach club, you've got sandbags. They're not allowing you to fix that situation there as well. So if you're in the vacation rental industry, this is an issue that needs to be dealt with. It's been swept under the rug. It's not talked about a lot, but this is what's going on, and I think it's super important that people start weighing in. The silent majority needs to start weighing in against that vocal minority that I believe is overstepping their duty as government officials. And I don't know what's going on here. I've got my personal opinion, but in the comments, I'd love to know what you think. So without any further ado, let's take a look around and see what's going on. What's it like in April on Maui? Well, guess what? It is just like this all the time, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, it doesn't really matter. It's the same. It's never-ending summer. It is a little bit windy today, so we do get a little bit of that spring-ish type weather, but this is a nice little swell that just rolled in, obviously. But a little bit breezy out there, as you can see. But what really makes Kahana Sunset awesome, in my opinion, is the fact that it sits in this beautiful little bay, and no one else really utilizes this beach. There is some public access right there, but honestly, you just kind of have the turtles all to yourself. This is actually Maui Jim's house. He did sell it. The owner of Maui Jim, his seawall failed miserably, but you can see the seawall next door was built very, very well and is holding up just fine. But let's go inside Building F and take a look around. By the way, this is the other oceanfront building here at Kahana Sunset, which is up on sort of this cliff, if you will. You can see that. But this has all been, improved or whatever, manipulated by man, trying to create a barrier. And you can see all of these homes, all these oceanfront homes that are worth millions and millions of dollars, all have some type of a seawall. Not all of them, but many of them do. So the question is when this seawall needs some work done, is the county going to prohibit them from protecting their home? I don't know. Seems to be this could be setting a precedent for every single oceanfront property on the island of Maui and, quite frankly, in the state of Hawaii. So let's go over and take a look real quick. Now, normally, obviously, the swell is not this intense. This is a pretty big, high-tidey swell moment. But normally, there's a nice little chunk of beach that's available there to sit and sunbathe and hang out. Kahana Sunset does have this nice little outdoor lanai area with a little... Don't you love these little vacation libraries? Just come on down. You know Robert Loveland's in there somewhere, right? Gotta be. It was many years. I've been here selling real estate since about 2011, and I remember there was years when there was nothing on the market in Kahana Sunset. Nothing. I mean, it's like, man, if one hit the market, it sold like instantaneously. They've done some nice improvements here. A newer pool, nice little barbecue area. And it's just in this little kind of remote enclave in the middle of Kahana. Very private. Now, if the building ever did get, demolished and removed. Obviously, that building would now be oceanfront, so they're not going to be complaining. And they've actually proposed moving the building. It's like, I'm sorry, there's nowhere to move this building. I mean, what are you going to do? Stick it in the pool? That's ridiculous. Move the building. All right, let's check it out. So this has been literally sitting empty for years. I would normally take off my slippers, but you can see there's kind of a good solid inch or two of dust on the ground, on the tile floor. And there's no electricity in the unit currently, so we have to do this obviously during the day. But it's a beautiful, remodel job. A few years old, but nice granite, beautiful custom cabinets. I'm going to show you the layout of these units because they're really cool. Now, I can't go on the lanai. That's the one thing the property manager made me promise. I wouldn't go on the lanai, so I'm not going to step foot on there. But you can see, it's not like it's completely fallen into the ocean or anything like that. It's just, there's definitely some slope to it. I have walked on it in the past, and there was a little bit of a slope to the lanai, so you could tell when you're walking on it, it definitely is not level anymore. But this is obviously the view. It just doesn't get any more oceanfront than this. I mean, just imagine the amount of lost revenue these poor people have experienced the last 3 years. Not just losing money, but they're spending money to not have the ability to utilize it. So that is one of the challenges of purchasing anything, right? You never know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, sometimes. Now this is a 2.5 bath, right? So right in here we just have the commode and the sink right there. Not very often you get a 2.5 bath condo. You're lucky if you get a 2-2. So this stairway here then splits, goes up here to the left to what I call the back bedroom. And you can see they put in, 2 different beds. So you have a single and a queen right there. And then a little sink right here. And then it has a shower, tiled shower, super high ceilings. Got a Kohler commode, and then stackable washer and dryer. Again, super high ceilings with nice light coming in. You could tell this was newer carpet. And then the piece de la resistance, which is a second lanai right off of the master bedroom with a second story view. As if it couldn't, you wouldn't think it could get any better, and it does. Look at that, we actually have a kite, we have a windsurfer out there. Can you believe that? I want to show it to you, but I'm zooming in on the screen. There's actually it's a wing guy. Get the door, there we go. Hang on a second, we're gonna check this guy out. Because I love wing foiling, man. Is this guy wing foiling, or is he's just on a board? Huh? You know it's windy on West Maui if you start seeing guys out on their wings. Oh, he's actually catching some rides. He just wiped out, didn't he? So that's why I love my job. In the middle of my job, I can check waves, watch people having a good time on the ocean, and start making plans myself for a little salt behind the ears. This guy's pretty skilled, man. I'm telling you. He is on a foil. And he popped right up and is just getting after it. Pretty cool, huh? But yeah, good. Look at the size of this lanai, man. Oh! And then, of course, the bedroom itself. And then it does have its own tiled-in shower, your Kohler commode, and your granite sink. All right, guys. Well, hey, just a quick check-in from the Big Easy, coming to you live from the beautiful island of Maui. In the comments section, let me know what you think. This is really too hard to do, but wow, I'm trying to get the sunset in as I sign off. Here we go. No, it's not going to adjust. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. In the comments, please let me know, what do you think about this debacle with Maui County not allowing the owners of Kahana Sunset to fix the seawall so they can shore up any potential future damage to their building, put the building back in use, start making some money, start providing housing for the locals, right? I mean, that's one argument. And what kind of precedent is it going to set if they're not allowed to fix a failing seawall when there's seawalls up and down the entire coast of this island? So I'd love to know your comments, love to know your opinion. And if you are a vested owner in one of these properties, I think it's important that you let your voice be heard and let your Maui council member know and step forward and fight for your rights, because I believe this shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Issue the permit, let them fix their seawall and be done with it. And that's just my opinion. So thanks, guys. Until next time, I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you one thing. It will be from the most beautiful place on planet Earth, the best lifestyle you'll ever find, period. I don't care what anyone says. You can't touch Maui. You just can't touch it. And I thank you for watching. Till next time. I think I got a little distracted by Mr. Windsurfing. It's just so weird. You just never see a guy, you know, or winging right off of the coast of Kahana. It's crazy. All right, guys. Till next time. Eric West out.